Welcome back, boys and girls. Assuming we have some of the female gender out there, I hope we do. And Women Carry Knives is a very good channel run by a woman who is showing you what she carries and collects. So that's the wife of Therapeutic Edge. I don't know why I'm going on about that, but I guess it had to do with my introduction. Well, today's lesson is all about automatic knives, and a few that I like, and there are a few more, but only had so much time and so much room for these 7, and I actually had intended it to be 5, but I said, oh, I've got to add this one in, I've got to add that one in, so here we are. This old sword with you, and an automatic knife, what is it? You probably know. It's a knife that opens with a spring. And we also have something called an assisted knife, which also opens with a spring. The difference being, one is actuated with a button, and the other is actuated with a thumb stud or a flipper, considered to be semi-automatic, if you will, if you're in the firearms hobby or use. You know that a semi-automatic fires one shot with every pull of the trigger and loads the next round automatically. So these are what you might then consider full automatic knives. In the knife sense, you push the button once, the blade opens. So I bet you're all wondering what the heck these are. And they've all been reviewed at one time or another on the channel. So if you need to know more about them and specs and lengths and thicknesses and measurements and comparisons against other knives, you can find all of that in those reviews, and I recommend you take a look. What we're going to do today is just take a look at these knives and see how they work and few of the interesting attributes of each. What shall we start with? How about the largest of the bunch, the Bedlam? This is the Benchmade Bedlam, now out of production to the best of my knowledge. Runs what is sort of a deep carry clip, about as deep a carry as this blade will handle. It is a folded over clip. And this is an axis lock auto, and the way that axis lock autos work is you pull back on the axis lock and she springs open. And here we have a very cool scimitar, I'm sorry, Persian, not scimitar, Persian influenced blade with a pronounced trailing point, shall we say, and it is semi-serrated. Those are useful. A lot of people don't like serrations on the knife. It sort of impinges on the aesthetic of the knife, but they're useful. If you're cutting anything that a blade normally would slip off of, these really bite in, like plastic strapping, marine rope, even cardboard. Very large handle. Lots left over at the end. Glass breaker built into the frame. It's all steel. We've got a safety on top that locks it in both the open and closed positions, which is not a bad thing to have on this knife because it's got a very powerful spring. If you're not hanging on to it, it'll fly out of your hand. Finger grooves, 3D machined G10 handle. And it is a big one. It's about a 4-inch blade, 154 cm at the time of this manufacture. They hadn't gotten into anything fancier, but it's a good, usable, easily sharpenable steel. This one is a black coat. They might have made it in a satin. I am not sure. But as far as mechanisms go, that's an interesting one. Moving on. We have an out the front knife, a very lightweight Microtech called the Dirac, or Dirac. It's actually, the term Dirac refers to Paul Dirac, who is a physicist, theoretical physicist, I believe, and you can look up the rest on your own, but I believe that's where the name D-R-I-A-C comes from. I don't know where else it could come from. Typical Microsoft, here I go again, Microtech deep carry clip. Can't give this credit to Bill Gates, can we? If it had computing parts in it, perhaps. You got your ceramic ball glass breaker there. These clips, by the way, and I hadn't mentioned this before, are two-stage clips. Not too many people know that, but they make it so that you can carry it up to here, keeping more out of your pocket, or push it down further all the way to the end and have a deep carry with just the glass breaker sticking out of the end. But that's why they're shaped unusually like that. Not too many other manufacturers do that. But it's a basically a two-depth clip. This was one of the first, if not the first, Microtech out the front to have a actuating button on the side instead of the top, or unless this is the side, call it a top, on the flat side of the handle. Opens and closes very easily. This one is made out of, I believe, CTS XHP, and it is black on the grind and satin on the flat. Just about disappears in the hand. Very discreet. Could carry that even in a shirt pocket. Let's go directly to one I picked up recently. I want to thank the BJ Hill down at Hilltop Knives and Gear. He does great mods on knives. In fact, he put this fantastic third-party clip on here, titanium clip, which makes this totally deep carry, and it's very thick and durable. This is the Compound by Hogue with the camo style G-Mascus handle. I like the fact that they made it out the front in totally in the handles anyway, not the inner frame, but the handles in G10. It just got a much better feel than aluminum to me. I don't care for anodized aluminum handles, never did. That's just me. This is a little more energy taken to open that knife. Stronger spring than the Dirac, but the Dirac's a smaller knife. And this is a drop point, clip point blade, if you will. S30V. Is it S30V? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's S30V. CPM S30V. Got a nice stonewash finish on it. It's a light knife. Forget what it comes in at, but you know, I think it's 3 ounces, maybe even under. I'd say 3 ounces. You can change the clip around, point down. Notice it's point down with an out the front, not point up, right? And that's just a cool knife. I like the way that they shaped the handle. They kind of went off the beaten path with that tiered handle, whatever you would like to call it, faceted. There you can see your layers of G10. Cool, usable EDC knife. Good usable blade. Here's a crazy one. Not too many people know that Spyderco makes autos. Remember to take the safety off this time. Lots of spring on that one. And a lot of people feel this is not a pretty knife. It's a little different from your normal Spyderco. Shape of that blade is off a little bit from what you'll see on like a Endura or a Delica. Strong spring and a very unusual actuator. It doesn't look that great or that cool or balanced or good aesthetics, But the thing is, you can feel where the button is. It's a large button, and it's like a cup that you're putting your finger into. So in the dark, you know, you grab it out of your pocket, you feel for that button, and it's very positive. That's all I can say. It will lock, let's see, open, and it definitely locks closed. Good usable blade shape. More utility than combat, but you know, whatever. Could probably use a deep carry clip. I haven't done too much with it, haven't carried it around. It's just was kind of a collectible at the time, and that came from White Mountain Knives. They are selling autos now. You have to contact them and see if they sell to your area. Here's one of my favorites. Hogue put this out. This is the K320 or K320A, I believe. Let's double check that. Yeah, K320A for automatic. There is a K320 manual. Looks exactly the same. They make it in this and in a Tonto, with and without serrations. Very light. Their glass-filled polymer handle is extremely strong, and they put this excellent traction on here, kind of like they do on their gun grips. Very much standing out along the lines that you have a 4-point attachment for that clip, and you have a very special clip with a grip on it, these scallops, that when you go to pull it out of your pocket, you hang on to those. It's deep carry for sure, but really interesting, unusual clip. And they still left the hole there, just like on the thumb opening models. And it does have a double lock. A lot of these do. I don't know if that, yeah, locks it both ways. So great utility blade, and great choil for choking up. That's the Hogue K320A. I'm going to close all these guys up. Okay, Benchmade again. Benchmade, this is the Mediator. Came out in 2020. Uses a similar mechanism to the Casbah. I didn't bring the Casbah out here, but you can look up that review. Got mostly a deep carry clip. Pretty nice one, short one. Very light knife, again, I'd say, as I recall, in the 3-ounce range. Push button with a safety. And will lock open and closed. But just a simple button lock. Interesting, the blade is S90V, by the way, which is I think a first for Benchmade. I'm not sure, maybe they're making more knives out of that. I got this at a local gun store, and all they had was serrated. They order a lot of semi-serrated knives, so didn't have a lot of choice. But again, serrations are useful. Not always pretty, but they're useful. And you still got plenty of edge up here that's smooth. It's a smallish knife. I think it's only about 3 1/4 inch blade. But again, very light. All G10, sculpted, milled, machined handle. Left side and right side tip up carry. The Mediator. Last but not least, very popular one in 2020 and into 2021. This is the Launch, I believe it's 13. Let's see if they labeled it. It's the Launch 13. As far as I know, I lose track of the Kershaw numbers on these Launch auto knives. But you got a little room to choke up there, you just got to be a little careful. They did angle the edge away. Extremely light knife. This comes in around like 2.5 ounces. Aluminum handle, 154 cm or is it CPM 154 steel, which is a grade better. It's the powder metallurgy version of 154 CM. Very cool Wharncliffe blade. Just nasty looking. Got nice jimping there. Thumb fits right in that hollow into that ramp. And the handle is skeletonized, making it even lighter. Deep carry clip, reversible. Just a cool blade. So, you know, if you can, no lock on this one, by the way, as far as I know. Nope. And made in the USA on this guy, as well as the Benchmades, of course, as well as the Spyderco. I'm pretty sure the Spyderco Auto. Gee, I locked it again. Spyderco Auto is yes, USA made. Just so you know. We're getting kind of long here because I've got 7 blades I had to show you. Let's lay them all out so you can take a last look at them. Again, autos may or may not be something you can have in your area, but regardless, I think they're interesting. There you have a quick review of some autos from my collection. There are a few more, maybe enough to do another video. We'll see. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. This Old Sword, signing out till next time.